What up, SNA Assassinators? This is Super Ninja Austin back here with another SNA podcast video. And this is the Monday Night Raw review on the last day of September, which is September 30th. And yeah, this is the Raw review video, Raw review video. And we're going to be talking about how great it was. And it definitely was pretty phenomenally great. And I don't try to say that to overcompensate or even put WWE on the pedestal, but it's just that it's the facts that they actually did themselves they did a fantastic work on tonight's show, and I'm gonna talk about what I mean by we're saying that. And but first I want to say, like, we had some very good moments. Like, we have a really great. We had a little celebration segment with main event Jey Uso. We also saw Zoe Stark finally getting a chance of getting pushed and actually been looking as a big deal, and had a very decent match with the Pure Fusion Collective being involved. Perhaps a very they're doing a little reset here, like where they can fix what they started. And I hope that they change the name very soon rather than later. And also they showed a hype video of Jey Uso and Braun Breaker's match from last week in the main event. And also we saw a very surprising return, that I kind of predicted, which was in the main event, which we talked about on the wrestling news video, which I said I wouldn't be surprised if this person that made their surprising return wouldn't show up as soon as tonight's Raw into the last Monster Standing match to get some revenge on one of the monsters for putting them on the shelf in the last couple of months. But yeah, that's exactly what happened. But we're gonna get into that later. And plus, that was totally the match of the night. That was a monstrous banger, by the way. But we're gonna get started with both of those monsters. Speaking of the devil, came in and get ready for their matches. Where we got Joe Tessitore announcing that, which he presenting himself and Wade Barrett. Those two are the very best commentary team, I should say, of WWE right now, because they're entertaining. They just make the show convincing, and about that old school feel, when it comes to their commentary work. But yeah, this is where we got it started off with them introducing the main event Raw star, and that is Jey Uso, which he was with the kids and the fans backstage, or outside, but entering into the door is where all the fans and the kids were chanting "Yeet, yeet, yeet, yeet," and this where the main event Jey Uso was like, "Hey, oops, yeah, let's go, please hit my music away." And this is where we got this young kid with some braids, look like how my hair would be done if it wasn't messed up right now. But anyways, yeah, he was wearing some Yeet glasses. I assume that was Jey Uso's son, because he mentioned that he was in attendance tonight. But I'm gonna talk about that in just a moment. But this is where it's this was Yeet, and then this is where he shook his hand. This is where he shook his son's hand. He gave him a kiss on the head. This is where he's like, "Yeah, let's do this, Oos." And then this is where he grabbed onto the. And I see that he did a pretty cool redesign, onto the belts, at least on the planets on the belts, the 3 planets, one in the middle, one on the left and right. He updated it with some with the color blue, looking like the Intercontinental Championship from back in the Attitude Era, Ruthless Aggression Era, and the early days of the modern PG era, when it was the oval shape. It kind of reminded me of that, but with 3 small planets instead of a whole big oval version of the planet. But he was coming out with the belt, when the fans started yeet waving with him, when they were chanting this song, "Me, Oos, day one, ish, that's me, Oos." And this was giving every fan a handshake, including one female in particular, which she was so excited, looking like she's like, "I'm never going to wash this hand ever again," for handshaking the main event Yeet Man. That's where she's like, "Yeah, well," and then this is where her friend didn't hold up her phone. I believe she got a selfie from the main event Yeet Master. This is where then we got Jey Uso. Then we got in the ring. This is where he had a little celebration promo that he cut. This is where then. And also the belt with the planet. It kind of reminded me of the squared shape championship with version of the belt with the white stripes, which I totally missed, by the way. But yeah, this is where it started geek waving when he was on the bottom corner top jumper with the pyro involved. This is where he keep holding on to the belt. This is where then we got. Then Jey Uso finally got on the microphone with fans were chanting yeet, 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 yeet. And then this is where then he's like, yeah, but yeah, you know what time it is, Oos. And it's like, yeah, your new Intercontinental Champion is in your city. And the fans were chanting yeet. And this is where fans start chanting, you deserve it, clap, 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 you deserve it. And then this is where he's like, thank you, like. And then this is where he got onto his promo, got to the reason why. But first, he was a little hesitant of him talking because it was so emotional. And then this is where then he shouted a yeet. This is where then he got started. This is where he said, I appreciate y'all. Like, but there's times like I love you guys. This is where fans start saying yeet, which look like you're speaking some other language. Like I believe they're saying they love him too, by chanting the word yeet. And then this is where then and he was like, thank you for rocking with us. And here's where then he was like, okay, there's times that I was not even recognized by nobody. I was just a twin, just one of the twins. Like, and what he said, like it was some tough. It was it was a hard road to get here, Oos. Like, and it was this task, this no task of being a single star, was hard for me. That made it hard for me, and my family members that made it hard for me. And I'm talking about the bloodline, including the former tribal chief, the one I don't give a damn what he just says. And then this is where then we got man, Jey Uso's like, yeah, they all thought I was just the twin, just one of the twins. He was like, and he was like, yeah, and Roman made it hard for me, and fans would keep chanting yeet, like if they were chanting what? They were like, he's like, yeah, my whole life, like I was just a twin, like, and even like not to mention my wrestling career, like he's like my wrestling career and my all my life in my wrestling career, like I was known as just a twin. Like nobody know me, but they know me now though, because considering who I am now and what I'm holding, and the fans like yeet, like you tell it, like, and this is where then Jey Uso then continued while holding on to his IC title that he won, which I really like the cool blue the cool sky blue what's that colors on the planets, makes it look like an actual Intercontinental Championship belt. That's what it probably was missing from the belt ever since it's been designed like about 5 years ago. But no worries, Jey Uso was on the job to get it redesigned, which we knew we could count on him on that note. Well, we didn't even ask for that, but we were asking for that a long time. But we finally got. Here's where the Jey Uso's like, yeah, and I want to talk about my biggest fan. When one fan shouted, I love you, and this is where Jey Uso, yeah, I love you too, like with other wrestlers that are top baby faces that will compliment the fans right back. And this is where the Jey Uso was like, and my biggest fan out of the family, like that's over me and all my brothers, is my mother herself. And this is where then he was like saying, like, yeah, my mother believed in me that I was gonna win this, and I spoke to my mom, like. And then this is where he's like, and even before the match, yeah, and this is where fans start yeeting before he can even get a word in. This is where he's like, and then this dude and this is what she had to say, like, just go out there and get it. And I was like, yeah, that's a very cool mom, like to believe in her own son, like, or one of her sons, like to pull this off and be successful at this opportunity to become a single star of winning a singles championship. That's where fans were like, yeet, like that's very sweet. And that's where, and I just rhymed there, so that must have been the saying something that was correct. This where then Jey Uso then like, and this where he's like, Mom, like I got there. And I'm now the Intercontinental Champion for you. And this where, before he can even say more things about his mother, this where Braun Breaker then came in and interrupted him. This where he was and this was like yeah, like when I was battling with you last week, like I had the same amount, like like you have like respect for me, like, but since we were battling out and you defeat me, like I have nothing but respect back at you. And this is where fans started saying, "What?" Like if Kurt Angle was in the arena, luckily he wasn't because he was still in his home of Pittsburgh, I believe. Like, and luckily it's going to be the other company that's going to be in Pittsburgh this week. Otherwise, he would show up, and this is where he would have his night ruined. Like if they were in Pittsburgh tonight, luckily he was they were in another city and state, which I believe they were in Nashville, if I'm not mistaken. If I'm not, I don't think it was Nashville. It was another southern state, but I'm trying to think. But I'm not sure exactly. This is what Brock said. I told the world a couple weeks ago, like what that championship really meant to me. Like it was my family. Like, and at the right superstar, like the one who deserved it. Like I walked out that night with that championship on his shoulder. Like, it's a better man. And I was like, is this the sign that we could see Braun Breaker turning babyface? At first, I thought he was just going to ask for a rematch. And then once he gets the rematch, he's going to probably come up short once again. And then this time, we could see him as a babyface, and he could start moving on to the higher level championship, like how Gunther did a few months ago. But anyway, this is where we got Braun Breaker then continues saying, like, and then that exact same night, like, well, like, you were the better man. Like, I have to hand it to you. This is what Jey Uso's like, yeah, thank you so much, Us. Like, I appreciate that. It's, like, with him nodding his head, like, showing him, thank him so much. This is where the Braun Breaker said, I'm not going to spear you. Like, that, you can trust me on that. Like, and I'm not going to attack you, all right? Like, I just felt like, if anybody, any wrestler that should come out here and then congratulate you, like, it's got to be me for sure. And he's like, and as a competitor and as a colleague of this brand and this company in general, I want to give you a very fair congratulating congratulating handshake. And he's like, congratulations. And this is where he pulled out his hand. If there are fans like, I'm not sure, like, if you should trust him fully. And this is where Jey Uso was agreeing, like, yeah, like, but I'm gonna be on the safe side in case if he does something. I have something up my sleeve. This is where he shook hands with him, which that was probably the coolest thing that they have ever done, or any former competitors would ever done to each other. Like, even though they're not bitter rivals, they're just professional. Professional colleagues that are just trying to get up on the top and win championship gold, which you cannot blame neither of these guys of doing, because who doesn't want to win championship gold? Like, that's partially the point of being in the wrestling business, along with genuinely enjoying to compete in matches. But anyway, this is where Jey Uso was like, yeah, like, hey, Braun, like, I have one thing to tell you, and this one more thing to tell you. This is where then Braun Breaker's like, oh yeah, like, I would like to hear it. And this is where this is where Jey and then this is where then Jey Uso's like, yeah, there's some dogs in Indiana in here, Oos. And I believe they were in Indianapolis, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, this is where the Braun Breaker's like, yeah, you damn right, there's some dogs. This is where Braun with the grin in his face that said it all. This is where Jey Uso's like, hey, yeah, you know there's some barking. This is where, yeah, I guess the rumors that according to the speculation was true, because Braun Breaker just acting like a babyface here, and that's not the last time we're going to be seeing him making some kind of an on-screen appearance, because he kind of teased something like being in the high level, like I just said. But what are your thoughts on that? And who do you think is going to be the next challenger for Jey Uso's Intercontinental Championship? Let me know down in the comments below on that note. But this is where they show when Rey Mysterio challenges Xavier Woods because he was being disrespectfully rude to him, like saying like he doesn't need his help and he should be given and he don't need his advice, and the only person he should give him to is his spoiled brat son that do not listen to him, like something that he's failed to do as a father or whatever. This where then we got Rey Mysterio coming out because this is his first match against Xavier Woods, which it's in the way they did not want it to be, I bet. But he got to do this because he's trying to prove a point about teaching Xavier Woods a little bit about respect. Like, well, kayfabe, of course. But yeah, this is where we got the match. It was really good. Like, I'm not sure it was the best of the night though. That's another match to talk about. Number one definitely goes to Braun Strowman and Braun Breaker. I'll say maybe this is like the third place spot. But what I should give the second place spot to? Oh, then maybe Zoe Stark versus Lyra Valkyria. But I'm gonna get back to that. But for now, I'm gonna talk about the opener match, which I'll say, yeah, this definitely getting the third place spot with Xavier Woods kind of acting heelish right here. And yeah, and it ended in the most controversial way once when they rocked horns and started doing some basic wrestling news. I mean, wrestling moves. I must be getting too used to doing wrestling news, but this is where we got Rey Mysterio eventually Irish whipped Woods right into the upper right side. He caught himself, trying to close on the masked underdog, but must kind of botched it, but we tried to get, but doing a pretty fantastic job being doing the selling, like which somebody better get him some kind of a professional selling award, like get the Golden Award, which that will be me, because yeah, he was the king of selling right now. Like with him, like deserves like a raise for doing such a maneuver, which I believe he everybody's gonna give him high praise on that tomorrow on the wrestling news and their reviews like about Monday Night Raw tonight. But yeah, this is where Rey Mysterio hit a flying leg drop on him until they went into the commercial break, which is the most powerful force in all of pro wrestling. This is where we got the match comes back on. This is where we got I thought Xavier Woods then got in control, like trying to go for submission moves. And this is where he gets elbow strike when he tried to hit him with a waist lock. This is where Rey Mysterio runs to the left side. This is where he tried to go for what's that called? A flying head scissors. But this is where Xavier Woods caught him, tried to go for a back, but he grabbed on his arm and slammed on the outside, even though he was still right in front of him, like with him in the waist lock. This is where Rey Mysterio was like, "Ow, that was very painful." That was because he landed right onto the hardest part of the ring, which is the ring apron. This is where Rey Mysterio goes for a springboard, go for a moonsault right onto Woods. This is where then we got Rey Mysterio throws Xavier Woods right back in the ring. This is where we got Mysterio then go up right up on the top rope in the bottom left side. This is where then he tried to go for a flying leg drop, but this is where we got this is where then Rey Mysterio got him down for that. This is where he tried to go. He ducks out of the way. This is where he tried to go for a crossbody, which he hits onto Woods. This is where we go for a pin, but this is where Xavier Woods and kicks out of it. This is where Rey Mysterio's like, okay, that did not work. Like this is where then that's where then he Irish woman right to the bottom left side corner. Once he got back up, this is where he goes up right up on top of him, start hitting some right hands, which it was almost working about him teaching him a lesson about respect. This is where fans were counting with him like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. But this is where Xavier Woods caught him. This is where he turned him around. This is where he got him right into like an electric chair position. This is where he tried to slam him, but Rey Mysterio got out of the way. This is where he tried to go for like a German super, a ripcord, like a ripcord maneuver, which it was the Hurricane Rana kind of ripcord majiggy. This is where it trips him right over right to the bottom corner side. This is where Rey Mysterio then rolls right to the top, hit him with the 619. This is where Xavier Woods moved out of the way. Xavier Woods then trying to go for a body slam, but this is where Rey Mysterio flipped right out of it. This is where he tried to go. This is where then he tried to go for a reverse DDT, but this is where we got Xavier Woods did the most disrespectful thing that you could possibly do in a wrestling match, and that was pulling Rey Mysterio's mask off. And this is where Rey Mysterio's like, "Oh, my face, like it's burning, like my identity name shown." And this is where then Xavier Woods was like. I just really took it off, but this is where Xavier Woods took advantage. He hits him with the most devastating move in all of pro wrestling. Got the 1, 2, 3 with the surprise roll up, and the winner of this match, Xavier Woods. And I was like, wow. Like I know, like there's some teasers of a heel turn, but I know he was gonna go all the way, like going full blown heel, which I believe like Kofi Kingston was once Xavier Woods flips it right off. Like, and do you think that was the case? Like you've seen some partially what's his face look like without the mask? For those that haven't do is search his name up and see what he looked like when he took it off for the first time in WCW, and even when he's hanging out with his friends, like when he's not in a wrestling match, or even doing a show in WWE, like when he's attending like a sports event, like they show, you probably see some sneak pics of him without his mask. But anyway, this is where Xavier Woods is like again, like I get that taught him a lesson. That's where Rey Mysterio's like, bro, like I would have respected, but luckily Rey Mysterio put his mask on easily, but the referee's help, like with him passing it back, and he quickly put it on, so nobody won't see like what he looks like without it. This is where Rey Mysterio's like, he really had to do that, and this is where That's where, like, you really have to do that. Like if you really have that kind of beef with me, why don't you get back in this ring? And this is where then, what's his name? Jay was like, why should I? I shouldn't nothing follow your orders. Like, you're not the boss of me. Like, I'm not your son, Dominic. And this is where then Rey Mysterio's like, no, you may not be my son, but I'll whoop you just like I did with my son a year ago. That's what Rey Mysterio was like I can do that. I can do it more quicker than you can say booyaka or something like that. This is where we move on and go to the backstage area with Lyra Valkyria with what's her name? Sonya Deville's like Lyra, like just the woman I'm looking for with Sonya Deville confronting her, with Shayna Baszler playing with her cards, which that's her favorite thing to do because she is the Queen of Spades, which she's happened to be one of those cards. She was playing with herself. Well, I'm not sure if I should have said that, but she probably was also playing with Lyra's new ally, Natalya, which we haven't seen in the past couple of weeks. And this is where then Sonya Deville's like, you have a very big match with Zoe Stark tonight. Like, it's a tough night. And don't you agree, Shayna? And this is where Shayna's like, like I don't really like getting touched. And this is where then Sonya Deville's like, but that's very unfortunate. Like you're gonna be all alone out there. Like no Natalya, no what's her name? This is where the live back here is like, oh, like Zelina, while correcting Sonya. This is where Sonya's like, yeah, like Zelina. This is where then Shayna Baszler then try to block Lyra Valkyria's way to get too close to Sonya, like to be her like a personal bodyguard. This is where then Sonya's like, no worries, like there's not gonna be no physicality here. This is where you're like. But she was like, but you don't have to worry about anything because like Shayna and I are gonna be there, and we're make sure that everything's gonna be fair. And I was like, yeah, like if that's gonna happen, this is where she was like, but Shayna does not like, well, at least you're gonna find out like what she would do if you try to mess with her. This is where Shayna Baszler like, if I were you, I'll be heeding that warning. This is where we got the second place spot, perhaps like the best match of the night, which this match was totally good. We finally saw Zoe Stark getting over right here. And then it showed that that WWE actually cares about the women's division, like in this new regime, since the Renaissance era was been invented. But yeah, this match was totally good. Like just a place away from being the second place spot. But this is where they showed the vignette of RFP, I believe that's what it's called. But this is where then Xavier Woods then this is where Xavier Woods would walk out backstage. This is where I just really just did that right there, and I'm not feeling right. Like look like if he's been possessed by some kind of a manipulating demon. But this is where then Kofi King tried to speak very calmly to him. He's like, hey, everything doing good? And this is where then Xavier Woods like, okay, first off, I want to appreciate you for letting me do that on my own, and second of all, and this is where the Kofi Kingston then kind of interrupted him, saying, like, yeah, don't worry about that. You need your own space. And this is where the Kofi Kingston like, but I have one question. Did you did that on purpose, what you did to Mysterio out there? This is where Xavier Woods tried to deny it, which he was kind of lying here. Well, kind of. I think he's totally lying onto this one with him saying, like, no. I'll never do. Like I would never do that to Rey Mysterio. Like I respect him. Like I know he's a Hall of Famer. Like he earned his dues. And this is where it's like, but what my thing is like despite that, I thought you would congratulate me. Like due to despite the interruption. And this is where then Kofi King's like yeah, like don't worry, like yeah, I know, like but yeah, good like. And this where it's like he's like, yeah, congratulations of getting picking up a victory over the former world heavyweight champion. Like he's also a Hall of Famer. But speaking of opportunity, he was like I'm not sure if this was the right time to tell you, like they wouldn't. This was like, like it seems like he's finally gonna get us some singles opportunities, and he's gonna like Kofi Kingston for a lifetime. Well, that's only if he can win this opportunity. But this is where Kofi Kingston explained what exactly he has great news about his ally or best friend, or whatever you want to call him. This is where he's like yeah, about Jey Uso, I gave you an opportunity to face him for the Intercontinental Championship, and then it's gonna take place next week on Raw, 2 days after Bad Blood on October 7th, when they moved to 2 hours, of course. That's where Xavier was like, yeah, he was like, Jey Uso, what a great man, and you're gonna be by my side, and then you gotta get. And this, like, and it's like, and yeah, this, and you can finally see me, front row, when I finally get my shot as being big time. And this where then he was like, and this where then what's his name? Coach King's like, no, like I didn't say like I'm gonna be by your side because I told him. It's like, and this is where Kofi Kingston was like, yeah, I don't want to step out of line, like, but you earned it, man. Like for waiting for many years of getting the shot to the championship. This is where the Xavier was like, yeah, like I like Jay, and I can beat him, like you know that. And this is where Kofi like, yeah, like I sure do. And this was like, and I can finally be Intercontinental Champion. Like, yeah, and this is where Kofi like, that's right, you finally win. And this is where the Kofi King's like, yeah, you. Like you darn right, like you earned this, and you're gonna be Intercontinental Champion. This is where the Xavier Woods is like, but first we gotta be serious and continue to focus because you still have your match tonight. Like, and again, and it's gonna be against American Made. Like American Made's very own Chad Gable and his minions are gonna be out there ringside. Like, and you probably need somebody to back you up and even the odds, even though like the numbers advantages are very slim on our side. But I could take down both Julius and Brutus, like while you're taking on Chad, and I want to make sure that they will not interfere with you. This is where Kofi King's like, yeah, I would love that, man. Like, I thank you so much on. He's like, it's gonna be 2 for 2. Like, you know why? Xavier Woods, and this is where Xavier Woods shot. It's because, and then it's where. And like with him, like shouting on to, but this kind of a new day rocks, and it looks like everything's on the same page for both Kofi and Xavier Woods. Like if a married couple that fall out and they reunite again, but yeah, what are your thoughts on to this? Do you think it's still only just a matter of weeks when we see Xavier Woods does turn on to Kofi Kingston? Well, let's say we saw one of the other top baby faces on Raw did split tonight, but I'm not going to get to that until not until like later on this video, which it was a complete shock of the event. Like probably the second most shocking thing in tonight's Raw, which I believe everybody's going to give high praise about these shocking surprises. But I'm not going to get into until I get into the subject. But first, I got the women's matches where we got this is where we got the match. Like start off with Zoe Stark and Valkyria in the ring with Lyra Valkyria go for a wrist lock, start things early, start going for an arm bar, but this is where we got Zoe Stark gets right back up. Irish whips her, tossing her by going right through the right side. This is where she goes for a slide dip, but Lyra Valkyria goes for a cartwheel tumble. Like this is where we got Zoe Stark kicks around the gut, but this is where we got Lyra Valkyria dodges out of trying to look like about to go for a German suplex, but she instead pushes her on the right side. This is where Zoe Stark runs go right to her, but this is where she slide ducks. This is where Zoe Stark then rolls right over her. This is where, but she gets shoulder tackled by the former NXT Women's Champion. This is where we got Lyra go for a pin right onto Zoe Stark. This is where she only got one even count. This is where this is where Valkyria goes for a headlock. This is where but this is where Zoe Stark hits her with a backbreaker right onto her back. This is where Zoe Stark get a little scream, like saying, like, don't try to underestimate me because it's only going to be your biggest weakness of any of your typical weaknesses like that you have in life. This is where did she try to spear right into the left side. But this is where did she dodged out of the way by leaping, which made Zoe go right to the left side. But this is where she gets hit with a missile drop kick right into the face. But Live Valkyria's like, like, there's nothing that's gonna stop me. This is where then we got what's her name? Here's where Lyra Valkyria picks up what's her name? Zoe Stark sitting right back in the ring. This is where the most powerful force in all of professional wrestling came back on, and that was the commercial break, which it was a distraction to Lyra Valkyria because this is where we got Zoe Stark was back into the in the offense position because Lyra Valkyria was distracted about what was going on after the commercial break, but luckily Lyra Valkyria got bit by Hurricane Ron's hand. But this is where Lyra Valkyria tried to hit her with the one winged feather, but this is where we got Zoe Stark and counters out of it. Hits her with a roundhouse kick, rolls her right to the bottom right corner side. This is where then we got Zoe Stark try to go for a splash, but this is where she gets flipped right over to the right side. Zoe did go for a Pele kick. This is where then she goes right up on the top rope. She was in the bottom right corner side. This is where she tried to go for some like a springboard drop kick, which she kicks right onto Lyra. This is where we got Zoe Stark try to go for a pin, but this is where we got Lyra Valkyria get the left shoulder up, her kick out at 2.6. This is where then we got Zoe Stark then try to go for Zit 360. That's the name of the move. But this is where Lyra Valkyria counters out of it this time, trying to go for like the dragon screw, but she's like, I have a better idea, go for a German suplex, but this won't be the last time Zoe Stark tried to attempt to do the move, and the next time will be successful because you know the rules. On page 4003, if I'm not mistaken, this is where we got Shayna Baszler then trying to distract the referee, saying like accusing Lyra Valkyria doing something illegal in the match, but this is where the referee's like she's not doing anything illegal, she's doing something stuff that's 100% perfectly legal. This is where we got Zoe Stark to try to the attacker for behind. Is where she tried to throw her right to the right side. Yeah. What are you doing?
I'll come and save you.
But he's in the middle of doing his podcast. There's no smoking here. But anyways, assassinate. Yes. This is where we got Lyra Valkyria goes for waist lock. This is where she tried to push her on the right side. That was probably a ginormous mistake from the former NXT Women's Champion. This is where she flips her over, however, like when she tried to go for a roll-up. Like if the referee wasn't distracted with distracted with Shayna Baszler, she probably had it won, but pushing her right to the right corner side bottom ropes is where the with her knee, like actually was in the jaw, actually. But yeah, knee in her right to the jaw on the left side is where then we got Zoe Stark recollected what's her name? The Valkyrie. This is where then she hit the Z360 right into the air. She gets the 1-2-3. Winner of this match, Zoe Stark. And this is where the Pure Fusion Collective then celebrated. But before they can even continue, this is where then they start trying to pick on the former NXT Women's Champion Lyra Valkyria. But luckily, she had some allies to come out there to help out, and it was none other than the returning what's their names, Kaden Carter and what's her name, Katana Chance, which I probably haven't seen them in 2 months, like if not more. But this is where Wade Barrett even pointed that out too. Like, where the hell did they been? Like, it's been like months since the last time, or been a couple months since the last time we saw these gals. And I was like, yeah, like you're not lying, Mr. Bad News Barrett, like because we have because the last time we saw them, like I believe who was it that put who on the shelf? Like it was one of the Pure Fusion Collective that put what's her name, Katana Chance on the shelf, and they didn't want to book anything about with Kaden Carter, like without her bestie, which is Katana, like to make her feel left out, unless they couldn't find nobody else that could team with what's her name, Lyra Valkyria and Zelina Vega against the Pure Fusion Collective, which they finally did with Natalia. They actually did, but they wait until like at least Katana chances like at least like a few quarters of being cleared like to compete, which she finally made her return. Something tells me we will be seeing a 6-woman tag match on the post-show Raw after Bad Blood. And do you think so? Do you agree that we're going to be seeing like a 6-woman tag match, or do you think it's like, or do you think they're going to wait for for another couple weeks? Let me know down in the comments about that down below. But I think that'll probably be the end of their feud, which they did a very impressive restart onto this. But maybe they should continue, though, because it looked like they finally fixed something that was a mistake here. And that was a lack of wins from to the former NXT. What better faction name they should come up with. But yeah, this is where we got the girl. We're number one at this time. But this is where next up we got Braun. They started hyping things up with Braun Strowman and Bronson Reed, which that match totally stole the show right here. But this is where we got Adam Pearce with, and make sure that they make sure they if any physicality between hands on each other, don't give them a reason why they cannot compete. Don't let them give them themselves a reason why they cannot compete this Saturday. How hard does it take? I want you guys to line up and make sure that they do not face each other. Not even about 5 feet away from each other. Make sure that you lined up and blocked them from each other. And this is where the CM Punk walked by, when Adam Pearce was given the instructions to the show. I'm not gonna wait for these these useless clowns to come out here. Like I'm just gonna just when they like they showed like they are advertising NXT, like with them being at in the stadium, like for now being there along the unholy union. This is where then Alba Fyre's like you like this is where it's like well before they can even get started, this is where then we got what's her name? That's where we got Alba Fyre was like, I mean, no, it was the contest cards like when they were asking questions, when they were asked questions by Jackie Redmond, let me rephrase that, and they was like what's next for y'all? Now y'all came back, and he was like, well, and this where Jackie Redmond, calm down.
Talk now.
Okay, chill out.
Okay, well.
Okay, anyways. This is where we got the Katana Champ and Kaden Carter's like yeah, we're back and we're going after for those women's tag team titles, which that Cargill and Bianca Belair are currently holding. Like, sorry, girls, like we love you very much, but those titles gonna come back to us. Like that made them prestige, that the ones that made them prestigious in the first place. This is where then we got Alba Fyre and Isla Dawn not like what they were saying, so they interrupted. Then they were like, "Oh, you think that you can just y'all think y'all could just easily cut in front of us to get a shot at those women's tag titles that actually belong to us? Like, get back in the line, little girls. Like, and it is like because like y'all didn't did anything since y'all been out for a while, and again, the WWE haven't seen nothing in you, Kaden. This is where they do not like what they saying. This is where like they start arguing with them. Like, oh yeah, if we don't deserve anything, how about we do a fight right now? This is where we got Lyra Valkyria was trying to play peacemaker by saying like, no, calm down. Like y'all will have y'all's opportunity against them, and you're gonna show who exactly deserves those tag team titles. And they're gonna do some kind of a number one tag team match, like see who actually deserves a shot at Jay Cargill and Bianca Belair's belts. Like, let me know down in the comment section right down below, which I should be saying like you have opportunity against Bianca and Jade for their tag belts, but. This is where then we got Adam Pearson welcome the fans like of this confrontation Hell in a Cell segment, like with the Hell in a Cell rise down, like for the hype up the match between the two that's gonna be inside that same steel structure that the Scottish Warrior have bad luck in, and that is none other than CM Punk and Drew McIntyre. But Adam Pearson's like, yeah. Like my responsibility that I take very seriously, like it's the delivery of our main event, like in our special attractions. It's like, and this Saturday at Bad Blood, like I plan on be delivering one hell of a special attraction. And this is where he started looking up right up around the steel demonic structure. And this is where he's like, yeah, Drew McIntyre and CM Punk will indeed go into war. Like inside the unforgiven steel structure you see around the surrounding this ring. And I assure you that after the Hell in the Cell, like they're more like they're war this Saturday. Then we're gonna have the fifth. And that means there's not going to be no battles, no brawls, like no like attacks on one another from behind or even right in front of their faces until the pay-per-view itself or premium live event. Like, and not in, he's like, and definitely not in Nashville. Like, no disrespect to you guys as fans. Like, oh, we want to see it tonight. Like I don't care if it's going to be in scheduled to be. We want to see plenty of physicality for on tonight's show. This is where Adam Pearce like, but however, like I've been giving both competitors the have one power in their very bitter like war rivalry, and join me, our competitors, like for Hell in a Cell the Saturday. Like first off, it's gonna be the best in the world himself, CM Punk, which he came out first, and then it's where then he welcome in like the Scottish Warrior next, and he's like Drew McIntyre, my other my other competitor that's going to be featured in this match. And it was Drew McIntyre was pretty clean in his black suit that he was wearing. Looked like if he's going to be in some kind of a like it seems like he's in a Hollywood meeting rather than being in a wrestling meeting. For CM Punk, just it looked like his normal self, like with him just wearing some like sports like outfit like that, like when like if he just came from the gym like for working out for the last 6 hours. This is where we got Drew McIntyre But they're like, I'm about to be a future Hollywood star, just like my favorite member of the TKO board, Dwayne The Rock Johnson. And then this is where then we got all two of these men like working face to face with each other with the referees in the middle, which they can't with you blocking them like rather than looking at each other face to face out in the open. But they promised Adam Pearce that they're not going to be getting these fans have anything else to do rather than provoke the wrestlers. Like, what is up with that? Well, it's out of respect. Like, about Punk. Like, and once upon a time, like, it was like since day one when you hated me, but I sure as hell hate you. And then this word then Drew McIntyre added by there's like you taught me I will die down with you. This is where CM Punk was like, "Hey Drew," and this is where Drew's like, "What the hell do you want, Cookie Monster?" And then this is where then CM Punk a lot of things like best in the world. This night, I am absolutely voiceless because I don't need to say anything to you. Like how much of a scumbag that you really are. He's like, I have so much rage. Look at you every like from the 4 weeks of in hotel because I don't want to subject to send you back home to Scotland, like end up with his wife, and then saying like I want to watch you do like not his wife, I mean his family members that are his extended Drew McIntyre just started doing like, and you prayed for panic, like on your hands, like in your knees, like, and you're gonna be from your eyes, so you can see me, like, and that's for damn sure, like, who I'm not a tribute paying moment that everybody's been saying, like, ever since Bray Wyatt's been saying that, like I've seen everybody been saying that when there's a match like going on. I mean, don't get me wrong. I think everybody been occasionally been saying that like much like make it very clear like by saying those WWE debut. But it seemed like the way they say it now is more often like if they're paying tribute to the Eater of Worlds. But let me you little Satan worshiper or something like that is where correspondence and that was what's her name where they're asking questions like now after the anxious the head of his mouth, this is what Braun Strowman's like I don't know what your the questions means, but I'm gonna show Bronson Reed tonight why they call me the monster of all monsters. Like, and I'm by beating him in his last monster standing match. And this is where then what's her name? Bronson Reed, but you had to interrupt it. Like this is where we heard a word that we thought we'll never hear like for the next couple of weeks, and that was what's up. And this is where he said like, "What's up, you guys?" But Braun Strowman had a huge grin because he. That's where then Braun Strowman couldn't even believe. He's like how you're here. Bronson Reed gave you 5 consecutive tsunamis, like a tsunami away from time for what he did to Seth Rollins or let me do time. Like I owe you. Like, all right, Bubba. Like, see you, Andre. And then this is where the Miz is like, what are you doing here? Look like he's very happy for him. This is where Archie's like, I'm working. Like, this is where the Miz is like, yeah, but why don't you tell me about this before you even show up? And this is where the Miz is like, I don't know. I mean, I see it for myself. He's trying to manipulate.